Hello, soldiers. Welcome back. I'm Commander Cyrious. Many a night I have sat here and pondered just how close we are to Oshur, wondering if we'll be pushed back. But they threw down the gauntlet. The news has arrived. Oshur is on track for release in 2 days. That is January 26th. Are they ready? The short answer is no. The longer answer is they are as ready as they can be with the time and resources allotted to them. The first public playtest was pretty rough around the edges. The second public playtest definitely brought a lot more polish, but there were still certainly plenty of bugs, and the fear of players, especially people that go on the test server, is that they will not get them all squashed with a release date that's less than a week away from the second playtest. And that's the most frustrating part to especially veteran players or players that have tested. It's like, hey, we found it. It's not just one that slipped through the cracks. It's something we knew about and it didn't get fixed. What we are up against here, though, is the clock. It's pushing 40 days past the original planned release date of Oshur, and Planetside 2 is 100% entering content drought state. These are back to the hype hills and hype valleys that I've talked about before. Now, the population has not actually fallen off as bad as it has at other times. We've seen it dip down below 4,000 average before. But still, that's not where they want to be. And from years of experience with the game, we know for a fact that big flashy patches bring people back, get that population bumped up, and along with that comes spending. So, soldiers, we're definitely at that point where they're going to say perfection is the enemy of progress, and we are past the point of diminishing returns. The content is good enough, playable enough. We have to take the gains we can now by putting a release out there and scramble to fix all the last little details on live. After all, the live server is the most effective test environment.
Do it live! Fuck it! Do it live!
That does suck if you're just trying to play the game rather than test the game, though. But what are my overall impressions of Oshur? First of all, the amount the team has got done in what feels like a short period of time is stunning. From what I saw on the first test build, and obviously what I saw on the build was behind what they had completed, but still, to what I see now on the public test server is a stunning amount of work. I really like the vibe in the ambiance. People were understandably concerned how it was looking a little bit dull, a little bit gray, and they have definitely improved that, especially in the morning and evening hours. One thing I've always not really loved about the render distance on continents like Indar is that it just kind of fogs out. They brought the kind of cloud effect that they had going on in Planetside Arena into Oshur, and it really is a much more satisfying effect to me in the distance rather than just graying out. There are still some times of day that wash out a little bit, and that's the nature of nights not being pitch black. So while it may detract from the art a little bit, I think it's a necessary quality of life feature so that people can see all the time. Next, how is battle going to flow on Oshur? Since it is such a cool, beautiful continent, I want it to really flow across all the islands and really use that space and find interesting battles in the rocks, in the water, in the hills. Now, public testing didn't really allow us to feel this out, but my gut reaction is that it's not really going to flow like it's supposed to. My first thought is it's going to be a lot of fast-moving ejection seat ESFs/Valkyries plus heavy anvils. Router bases will still be a staple of spawns, but with the buff to squad beacons, those will be favored. The bottom line is I do think you'll still see a lot of flying over the top of the lanes, landing on the point, and sustaining small squad holds. At least on launch, though, with a big influx of people that you'll get, that will help drive fights into the bigger yet slower moving surges across the field, and so you may get to experience some of that kind of opening Planetside day / actually feel out the continents during that time. So that's kind of the prediction on the macro flow. Let's talk about the micro flow a little bit. What you're seeing here is actually still during the closed testing phase. I haven't even gone back to this base to see what they did with it. What I did find in the open test phase was some really cool underground bases, just some really interesting dynamic things that will be very new, and that's what I'm excited for. This base was the classic powerhouse triple stack crescent all near each other. And that is just like, I mean, we've done it. I realize you got to have some of the staples in there because people love the powerhouse fights, but we've done it. I'm just ready for something new and different that I don't know. Now, some of those new and different bases are going to suck. That's just the nature of it. You take a risk, you build something new, and then it's either too choke pointy, there's too much runtime, whatever it is, people end up not liking the area. But for me, I'm a masochist, and I enjoy containment sites just because there's something generally different. A little bit too much running. I wish there was a few more spawns for both sides in there, but still, just something that I haven't played all the time is nice. So guys, on the micro level, some bases are going to be fun, interesting, different. There's some really big underground ones, and some of them are going to feel like, I've played this before. Some of the open area beachhead locations were a lot of fun to play around. Construction is not getting the overhaul it really needed, in my opinion, to be fun, but we'll see how they interact on these kind of rocky cliffside islands. It'll definitely be different, and they will make adjustments to Oshur when they find problem areas. They have added some features that are really going to encourage exploration of Oshur. That, I think, is going to be kind of fun. I do wish there was a little bit of maybe A7 and ISO to find along the way. I don't know if they went that far. But at least that'll make sure that you should kind of engage areas that are not within a 5-meter radius of a point. This collection tab will be part of the directive board, and it will get explained to you if you decide to take on the campaign. Otherwise, I'll certainly go into more depth later. The campaign itself feels very short and sweet. It seems like just a primer, a few rewards, get you on your way. I see a couple opportunities for PvP that I think will be a sore spot for people that are trying to do it on the first day. But again, if you're having trouble, just wait a week and you'll be able to get them done pretty peacefully. Will Oshur turn into the next Hawson? That's a tough one to me. I do think the general brightness of Oshur will keep people on it more. It has less low to the ground viney things that make it hard to traverse. That will make it better for the vehicle game. Then again, it's a lot of steep, narrow islands, which can make it pretty difficult. So overall, I do think it has a higher chance of staying in the I like these continents the most rotation for some players. So fellow Raxians, this is it. I realize it's a little bit scary since the last public playtest had a lot of things that need to be tuned up. But I hope you can be patient with the developers and understand that they just have to go. We can get out there, we can have some good fights, and they will need the first week to correct a few things. But to me, what I always find with these patches is it's worth it just for the massive influx of population. You just get a lot of fun battles because of that. New or old content, it doesn't matter. The flux of pop will make it all better. Soul Soldiers, that's all I got for you right now. Just wanted to give you the news. Again, January 26th is the release date. Special bonus to those of you that stayed this long, I'm going to throw a Deckhands bundle out there if you leave a comment down below. That'll be it for now, fellow Raxians. Until next time, I will see you Planetside on the new continent of Oshur. I will be streaming it live on release day. We will see you there.